Duke's process is that he sees that there's something there and he has to kind of feel around a little bit, get towards it, you know, make a variety of brews that start exploring the direction.
Turn 1, land from both. Turn 2, Brad drops a second land and a Nihil Spellbomb. And Reid, Farseek, any non-forest.
Man, I can already imagine just how many watery graves, or how many, I guess not watery graves, more like breeding pools that Reid Duke is going to be on board as. Stomping grounds and breeding pools. He seems like a man who is going to be far-seeking an above-average amount of the time.
I buy that.
He's probably going to want us to go get some, like, overgrown tombs and like, breeding pools and control decks.
I really liked Ravnica Constructed, so seeing that Farseek makes me smile.
Yeah.
And we got another Farseek, maybe a Rampant Growth?
Yeah.
Rampant Growth.
Brad with no black mana means he can't cycle his Nihil Spellbomb, and he looks a little slow to get going. He doesn't have any Wellsprings, doesn't have, you know, doesn't have a trade. He doesn't have anything really going yet. He's just kind of hanging out. Although the Selim Simulacrum is a huge step in the right direction. It gives him the black mana that he needs for the Nihil Spellbomb, but it's a source of future card advantage because he's got so many Buried Ruins in his hand and in play that he's going to end up just drawing lots of extra cards, particularly if he finds a way to sacrifice the Simulacrum, such as a Phyrexi's Core.
And Reid untaps, getting to that critical 6 mana mark.
That Selim was the best thing Brad could have drawn.
And Primeval Titan, ouch. Now, I will say one thing about Reid Duke's list. Unlike a lot of these ramp decks, if you cast a Primeval Titan in those ramp decks, the game was just basically nearly over, except for against a very narrow slice of cards. Reid's deck has only one Inkmoth Nexus, so it's not necessarily over, it's just probably over.
Yeah, I mean, a single, you know, if Brad, like for instance, right here, if Brad goes Day of Judgment, kill your Titan, and then has a single removal spell, at least there's a game.
Yeah.
You know, Reid still has the Wolf run. But most likely, Reid's just going to follow with another 6, and that'll be that.
And to be fair, Brad's main deck, other than sorcery speed effects, he does not have ways to deal with creatures that are not Tumble Magnet. So a Inkmoth can go a long way against him.
Absolutely. And he really just doesn't have any, he doesn't have any flyers, doesn't have, yeah, his main deck, he just doesn't have any outs. I mean, he's got Gideon.
Which is a road bump. There's the day. Draw the card.
But really, Brad is just on a 2-turn clock here. If he doesn't get Tumble Magnet or Gideon, now it looks like he does have the Gideon in his hand. But
which basically makes it a 3-turn clock, or maybe a 4-turn clock, right?
Yeah.
A short little while to kill the Gideon, and then you're back at it. Oh. Or another Primeval Titan.
Yeah. This one's looking pretty good for Reindeer Rabbit.
FF Freak versus
Reindeer Rabbit.
That's right. Let's gain some life. 2
of the most notorious Magic Online players, which, if you want, you can nominate or vote for the Community Cup. What's the webpage for that? Do we have that laying around? Because both of these players are people who are going to be getting some votes this year for the Community Cup. Pretty tough competition. Brad Nelson, Reid Duke, Brian Kibler, Luis Scott Vargas, Tristan Sean Gregson, Michael Jacob, Michael Hedricks, lots of names. Friends over at MTG Cast. Community Cup's going to be pretty thick this year.
And I'm going to tweet that link because unfortunately Wizards of the Coast has not made it an easy to say.
Oh yeah,
link.
yeah. Everybody just remember it's !HTMM32 capital Q M3.
Very, very close. Very, very close.
So Brad's got a Wormcoil engine down. He's going to make a good fight of it, but Reid Duke slowly building up to the point. Well, not even that slowly. Quickly building up to the point of an Inkmoth Nexus killing in one hit. He doesn't want to fall for the waste my turn, making you only mostly dead, because mostly dead is still very much partly alive.
I was hoping you would say that. I was going to go there if you didn't.
And the worst thing that could happen is if he wastes his time doing that, and Brad drops a tumble magnet, and suddenly it's like, wait a minute, could I actually lose this game? However, he's up to 10 mana, meaning he's actually not that far off, particularly if he gets to hit with Primeval Titan, putting him at 12. It only takes 14 mana before you kill in one hit.
That's not very much.
Or no, is it 14? I guess it's 15 mana. I think it's 15 mana. Because you have to have
3,
one. The Nexus plus
9,
1 is 13, and the 3 for the Wolf
12.
Run. Oh no, it is
14.
It's 14. It is 14. 'Cause the Nexus
You had
is-
it right with your instincts.
Absolutely, dude. I've died that way enough to know. So from the looks of it, this is
All over but the crying is what I usually like to say.
we'll see.
I mean, basically what Brad has to do is get a magnet down ASAP. And then still deal with that Primeval Titan.
I don't think ASAP is fast enough. It's now or never.
He still has...
Why did he tap his black mana?
He still has a Gideon that he can use to stay alive for a turn.
Well, I don't know if he needs the triple white, but all right. Here's the Gideon, buying some more time.
Attack my Gideon, please.
And the nice thing is that Brad can block with his Worm Coil, so it's not even like the Grave Titan is the biggest threat in the world here. However, Reid should have more than enough mana to finish off Gideon, even after trampling over the Worm Coil. Right?
Gideon is not long for
Is
this
that enough?
world.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. Yeah, so he's got enough.
And if you're Brad, you're just going to block here.
Yeah.
You ought.
Yeah, you got to. He's just got to, I mean, first, make Reid use the mana. But second, like, the Worm Coil's not doing anything for you. And that Primeval Titan is destroying you. At least this way, if he draws a magnet, like, he's got control. Sort of.
More Glimmer Posts. Reid's life total skyrocketing. And we see the Wolf Run. He's like, all in.
Yeah.
Dead Worm Coil, dead Gideon, and a fresh pair of, oh, Doctor, 3/3s.
Anthony Eaton and Christian Calcano tokens on the battlefield.
At the end of the turn, I think we're going to see, and there it goes. Boom. Nile Spellbomb. Drawing a card. For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan. I'm here with Patrick Chapin. We are watching the first game between Reid Duke, Brad Nelson, in this round 5 of the Star City Games Live Open Series here in Buffalo, New York. And draw, look for answers, attack, leave mana open, because while we have the benefit of having deck lists in front of us, Reid does not. Reid does not know that there are
No Doomblades.
removal spells that can deal with that Ink Moth. No Doomblades.
This
no
isn't going to happen. Though.
Incinerates.
Reid is definitely going to finish the job.
No, let's see, what else? No divine
shots.
offerings, no gut shots.
Ancient Grudges are smelt.
There's the Inky. Attack. I think Brad wisely not trying to indicate he even has anything, because indicating that he has something would be, I mean, it's probably not going to matter, but boom, that's it. I think Brad, in terms of trying to pull off that bluff, was playing it like he should against
Absolutely.
a player like Reid Duke.
Player
not
like Reid
doing
Duke,
anything else.
His only game plan against Reid Duke, in that case, Reid's way too seasoned for any of the trick stuff.
Yeah.
The best way to represent strength there is to be stone faced, do nothing.
Yep.
And then maybe if Reid has a different line of play, like Brad's only hope is that Reid has another 6 in his hand that's so good that maybe Reid says, well, you know what?
It's not worth risking it.
I could just play around it. I'll get him next turn.
Yep. One thing to remember, now, you can't bluff somebody who won't see it because they're not good enough, but also you can't telegraph the bluff against someone who's good enough to realize that a telegraph is a false tell.
What's it they always say? You can't con an honest man. It's the same thing. You can't bluff an honest guy.
Is it that you can't con an honest John?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good album, actually.
Ah, it's a way of life, really. You know, assuming you're a grifter.
And if you have played Magic long enough, you might have at some point come across Magic grifters in your downtime. They're dangerous to have around, but they can be entertaining. Reid, Duke, and Brad sharing a smile. These guys, right now, they're friends, but they're playing to stay in this tournament.
This is score SCG Black 1, SCG Blue 0.
Who will emerge victorious?
I gotta say, it's been real good to see the change in momentum of Brad Nelson over the past few months. The SCG Blue experience, moving to Roanoke, being surrounded by guys that he gets regular playtesting in. He's in his element. He's starting to get his groove back. It's been awesome, and seeing just the amount of leadership from Brad, it's been kind of awesome. I mean, obviously Jerry is a veteran to leading groups of playtesting and whatnot, but Brad has really stepped up and taken a leadership role as well. And the influence they've had on some of the other SCG Blue guys, it's been real positive and real good. It seems like they're a growing force in Magic.
I think the influence they've had on each other.
Aww.
No, I'm serious though. I mean, I've worked with Jerry in the past, and I think that he's used to being the king of the mountain. And when he has somebody else there that's worth listening to and worth sharing that power with, I think that he's gotten a lot out of that.
Absolutely.
I don't know what was said there. But
watching
awesome.
the faces of these two. A couple of good kids.
Yeah, these are some good guys. It's funny because since Brad has moved away, it is kind of sad playing in events in the upper Midwest. Brad would be a fixture at PTQs. He would usually just be there to hang out. He was often, not even... He could potentially, in some of those events, play for the prize, even though he was already qualified. But in that, couple of years there, he would just show up for the times, just to hang out and watch his friends and talk. And now, not so much. He lives in Roanoke.
How many people do they got down there? There's Brad, Jerry, Gindy, Cho.
It's starting to be a little bit like Curacao.
Well, kind of Curacao, it's tricky. Curacao is the island where gamers go to die, whereas Roanoke seems to be the out in the wilderness where gamers go to break through.
It's funny because Curacao I always like to think of as the Dharma Initiative. We have a post on the right in the hands of Brad Nelson and Reid Duke, Wolf Run Blue. Do you think that trading post is going to take over for Outpost, Kildoran Outpost, as the card people think of when they hear the words post? Is it going to be ubiquitous enough to do that?
I'm fairly sure that trading post is post enough to not even be thought of. I think Outpost is too pre-post to be a post in today's world.
Well, you mean post M13 though, right?
Right. Well, no. I'm not even sure. Is Outpost really the post that people think of?
So you're thinking post even maybe Ravnica?
I mean, when was the last time anyone played with Kildoran Outpost at all?
1998.
I think it's at least even if it's post 99, the amount of posting going on now is, I don't know, trading post anyway is much different. Salam Simulacrum. You're gonna get the mountain, right?
I don't know. Your rationale sounds kind of ex post facto to me.
But it's correct.
True. A little tidbit for all of you out there who like to talk about fallacies. Fallacies do not make a proposition false.
So we've got 2 swamps from Brad Nelson. Why did he get the second swamp? What is his double black in his deck? Why would he do that? He doesn't have double black, right?
He could potentially double threat, duress plus a black spell.
I don't know. Maybe he has multiple red cards in his hand, or multiple red sources in his hand, and it doesn't matter. He could also just be scaring Reid, respect my Grave Titan or whatever. increasing ambition's only single. But I suppose if the game goes real long, he can cast it and flash it back same turn.
All it takes is 13 mana.
12, right? 13?
13.
Wow, flashback on that beast is 8?
Feels like it should be 7.
Jeez. You gotta mean it if you want to increase your ambition.
Solemn Simulacrum.
At any cost.
It is 5 mana v 5 mana. Reid back quickly approaching the dangerous 6 mana mark. This seems like a matchup that very favors Reid Duke. And you've got 2 mid-range decks, I would say, and then one of them has Primeval Titan.
Well,
Mindslaver.
Traditionally, the ramp deck has been very good against the board control deck.
Yeah, and on the back of Primeval, though, right? That's usually the...
Well, just the ramp deck is basically a combo deck. It's a slow combo deck, but it is a combo deck, and board control decks are notoriously weak to those sorts of things.
Ancient Grudge taking out Mindslaver. Looks like Brad's gonna need to get a trading post going to get that going.
That is a tough break. And it's not even like Mindslaver's the sickest thing ever. I mean, Reid Duke's deck is not powerful enough to kill itself successfully.
That's funny.
Primeval Titan. That Inkmoth Next is so deadly for Brad Nelson.
And after sideboard, Brad has 0 ways to deal with it.
Just the Tumble Magnet. Oh, he's got
Spine of Ishsa. Pardon me. Spine of Ishsa.
Spine is you gotta go hard and you gotta go long, but mostly I think you gotta just go to the 2 losses bracket. So, Reid Duke Primeval Titaning. Brad Nelson's developing a bit of a reputation for his love of trading post, but I wonder if, is Dega really the best way to trading post?
There are things about it I really like. What would you put forth as a possibility?
I mean, mono black.
I like mono black.
Blue black Tezzeret.
I like that. I know Brian Kowal has been working on a mono blue version, along with Midwest player Bob Baker.
Grand Architect?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. If you're into that sort of thing.
And a lot of mana for Karn? Nope, Primeval Titan. Off of a Green Sun Zenith, perhaps? Is that 7 mana? No.
So Reid Duke.
Oh, he already got it. He got a land out immediately. That's why it looked like 7 mana.
Original modern powerhouse Glimmer Post versus quite possibly the greatest draft pick possible of all time, Icar Wellspring. I like this Pro Tour stamped Primeval Titan. Let him know you mean business.
Another day.
Another day.
And Brad says that's it.
So Reid Duke very handedly defeats Brad Nelson 2-0.
Wow.
With his Wolf Run Blue deck versus Dega Post.
Oh,
Reid Duke very happy about this. Brad Nelson very happy that Reid Duke is happy. Less happy about why.
I'm just thinking about Dega in the past, and I always think about just essentially draft for the most part.
You always just think about draft?
When it comes to Dega, I think the only times that I've really seen, Fabiano used Team Italia as that color combination.
Yeah, all the time.
And then before that, Ped Bun a long time ago, but it's just not a color combination